Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of podcast. It's been a week, and Dylan's been sad. It's been 2 weeks, I think, actually. Hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks since our last one. So stuff has happened. I think the first thing I wanted to talk about, personally, was our Ruby Extreme. Because we didn't talk about that ever. We did Ruby Extreme?
The one time we did it?
Yeah. Well, we wanted to do it again, but you and Davey just never keep coming on, so... Sin thinks Warrior of Light's easier than even Ruby Extreme. He said, it's weird to get the mechanics down, but once those are down, it's super easy, because the fight doesn't try anything new or anything. It just keeps doing the same shit, so you can get it down really easy, where Ruby Weapon, not only does it have multiple very different mechanics, but then it also, to add in on it, it has the... What the fuck was I going to say? The second phase, too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more. He still thinks Hades was the hardest he did. What was the other thing I was going to say too? The other thing you have to remember is never limit break the Warrior of Light Extreme when he's charging up his limit breaks. Doesn't matter which one, because if you do, he automatically uses the tank limit break and you can't do any damage to him. So that's cool. Was there anything else crazy? I don't think there was anything else for the first week that we did. Did you do anything? Any crazy nonsense that we aren't going to talk about until after? Oh, you talk about now. Sorry, I meant don't be like, oh, I watched Eraserhead.
No, I can't remember what I did last week.
Well, how was your trip?
It was alright.
Did you do anything? No.
Yeah, we played board games.
You're just like, yeah. Walks away. Done.
What'd you do?
Tell everyone.
Yeah.
I watched a board game maker make a board game.
I ate 4 weed cookies.
Uh-huh.
And then I left this realm while they were playing board games.
Who gave you weed cookies?
I bought them.
Oh.
And, yeah, at first I hadn't intended to share, but then I'm like, well, it's only 5 milligrams per cookie.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
But
5's probably too many.
4.
4's probably still too many.
So that's 20 milligrams total.
You could have probably got away with 2.
Yeah.
So
So I was like laying on the bed. I'm like,
who would have even eaten any of those? I guess Dayton.
Yuri was there.
Oh yeah, I forgot Yuri's super into weed now. Yuri used to not do weed back in the day, so. Who else was there?
Milo, Dallas,
Nah.
Yuri, Colby, Dayton.
Nah. Milo's the one that doesn't like Estinian. You should have fought him, is what I'm saying. You should.
Dallas almost did.
Why? Board games?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it.
Just board game stuff again?
Yeah.
You boys and your board games are too angry. Too angry. I think the only time we really argued in my D&D was, I wasn't really arguing, it was me and Owen, I think. And it was just, I thought athletics and acrobatics did different things, and he said they did different things, and then we looked it up, and I was like, oh, okay. That was it, that was the argument. And Kurt was mad when he separated from the group. He got mad at me for separating from the group, and I was like, well, you did it. You didn't have to go with your brother. Of evil. And then Dayton joined him for reasons, and then I was like, I guess Dylan could join a third group.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Well, that was more, it was more, because Kurt's always busy back then. So it was hard to get a group with him and Dayton in the same group. And then, yeah, it just kind of fell apart. Too many groups, honestly, was the bigger problem of it all.
Yeah.
Because the group with Natasha and Dustin was fine. And then Dallas's group and your guys' group was the one that everybody was waiting for. Kobe's group was fine, too, but they were, caught up to the story, way ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
So, that was that. That's why the D&D's ended. But I might start it up again, but I think I might only do, one group or something. We'll see how I feel. But I'm going to wait till I got everything sorted out. How's work going?
It's alright.
Did you get that promotion to assistant to the regional manager?
No.
Are you trying still?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
It's a pointless job.
What? assistant to the regional manager. It's one of the highest honors.
Shit! If it's the literal assistant to the regional manager,
Yeah, that doesn't
I would
mean
do that in a fucking.
I
heartbeat.
didn't say assistant manager to Natasha.
I've been joking with Wahid about being his assistant for years, where I just go to every store and I fuck around with their shelves and I just do random bullshit. And I'm like, I could do that, and you can just stay home. And it's like, ho ho ho. That's all he says.
Yeah. I'm starting to really like Tuesdays at work. It's what I call me and Ducky Day.
Yeah.
Because it's just me and him. The store's not open for, like, so you can still order skip and stuff. So we're just there for that and, like, prepping. But it's a pretty slow day usually. Although the last 2 weeks, Tuesday and Wednesday are supposed to be slow days where we're supposed to prep.
Yeah.
We couldn't prep anything because we had no food. And we're super busy. We're constantly taking things off the menu of skip. And we're like, we should probably close. We have, like, 2 kinds of pasta. No bacon. Well, and then Duke didn't turn off jalapeno mac and cheese when we didn't have jalapenos. He's like, it's fine. It still gets onion and onion. I'm like, no one in their right mind is ordering jalapeno mac and cheese for onion and macaroni. Like, wouldn't you be pissed if you order jalapeno mac and cheese? It's just
I would be pretty mad. This is there supposed to be onions in it? Or jalapenos in it?
It has onion in it normally. It's just we also put bacon and jalapeno in it. It's like, I'd be pissed if I ordered this and got that.
Yeah.
But then we listened to the Super Mega podcast. It's a good time. He started playing 14, which I think I told you about. Which was a fucking hassle. Sony sucks. The PlayStation Store is the shittiest fucking thing for anything. If you search Final Fantasy 14, you cannot find the free trial. You literally have to type in free trial to find it. That's the first gripe. Second gripe was, so we put it on Duke's account, but I ended up putting it on mine because you need to have a credit card information that's not expired on your PlayStation Store just to download it, which is fine. That's not the gripe. But on Duke's account, he has an expired credit card. And he doesn't have that credit card anymore. He doesn't remember the CVC. So I'm like, okay, I'll just add a new credit card. It's like, you must add your old credit card information first before you can add a new credit card. Why?
That doesn't sound right.
No. I looked it up, and people are like, this is stupid. PlayStation's stupid. It's not like Xbox. Whenever you go to pay for something, you just put in credit card information. No. Sony doesn't do that shit.
Well, because I bought Mortal Shell 2 days ago, and my old credit card was on there. I just put my new one on.
Yeah, well, you might have had different settings on when you did it. Because it said if you do it, something about when you add it to your wallet or something. But I looked it up. Because I was like, there's got to be a way around this. And they're like, no, if you have it like that, it's like that. And I'm like, that's stupid. Sony pisses me off a lot of the time, though. Like, I like PlayStation, but they piss me off.
I've had absolutely no problems.
Yes, you have, Dylan.
Yeah, with what?
You couldn't use your credit debit or something. You can't buy any video games, you were saying. You know, you can't buy video games on my PlayStation.
Well, it lets me now.
Well,
I think that was just because the card wasn't actually set up.
Oh, so you're drunk again. It was like the time when you had no insurance for 3 weeks. Actually, it was like 2 years, but... How long was it again?
What?
That you were driving around with no insurance?
Oh, for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And no registration.
To be fair, I've never been pulled over, so.
Me neither.
Yeah, but I've been driving way longer.
Yeah, you're right.
But like, honestly, I think as long as you don't do illegal things, they don't tend to pull you over.
Now that I think about it, I got a photo radar ticket while the registration was not.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
You'd be able to tell just by looking at the license plate.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to know, honestly.
Okay.
The police aren't very smart, you know.
True.
That's why they're police and not detectives. Oh, fuck, Poncho's happy to see Roll. Roll, what's up, man? I want to make out? Yeah. Let's make out, buddy. It's like Colton and Dylan that one day at the party. You guys were both talking about, sex with each other. It's good. But yeah, Duke started playing Final Fantasy. Tasha started playing Final Fantasy. Skylar's still playing Final Fantasy. Kurt was playing Mahjong in Final Fantasy. And then he helped teach me how to play Mahjong. So I was playing more Mahjong again. It's always a good time. Mahjong is the best way to make MGP, by the way. If you play ranked. But I don't. But I was reading up, because you know that point total? That's your MGP you gamble.
Huh.
So I think you go in with 20,000 MGP, which is a lot, but then you can gain like 30,000. Great. That being said, I think they can go for like 45 minutes those games. So
Yeah.
But it is cool. I like the idea of gambling like you do in poker and stuff. I wish they had like poker or something, like a game I understand the rules to better, because that'd be funner. I wish they had more casino blackjacky style games.
Yeah.
Like roulette would be cool even.
Mm-hmm.
A roulette. The slot machine would be cool, but they don't need it. They have so many slot machines. Because slot machine would just be the same as like any of those other one MGP games. So
yeah.
You don't really need them. Just slots are fun. That's the only reason I want slots. Obviously blackjack. Blackjack's my favorite game, and you could easily do it with just you and a CPU, but you could also bring in other players really easy.
Yeah.
Poker would be cool, but poker would have to be just other players. That's the only problem with poker. But like, the other ones would be fine. I don't think they'll ever do that though. But I think they could make pretty good money because people would download and play the game just for a casino clone. People love casinos. Like Dustin would probably play it for fucking poker. He doesn't have to gamble real money. Although I think he likes gambling real money, but like sometimes like there'd be times where I wouldn't want to play, but I would want to play. Like God Hand has a great casino in it. And sometimes when I'm playing God Hand, sometimes I don't want to play God Hand. Sometimes I just want to go in the casino and gamble. Play some Blacky Jacky. I do like Blackjack. I think it's probably one of my favorite card games.
Yeah.
It's simple.
It's the one I understand the most.
I understand it, but do you understand like how you're supposed to like hit and stuff? And you're supposed to worry about helping the whole table win, shit like that. Yeah, it's like people get mad if you like hit on something you shouldn't hit on. Because, like, it's like, oh, there was this many cards. Somebody already played the card. There was already 4 suits of that card played, and you hit on it. Because, like, say it's like you needed a 7 to get something or something. People, like, actually freak out in blackjack. Not often. I only had, like, 2 or 3 people get mad. But it's like, you know.
I thought you just had to get to 21.
You do, but obviously you count the suits, right? Like, or at least try to. Like, say you need an ace or something for your hand, right? Like say you got a 10, so you want an ace.
Right.
You're supposed to like pay attention to how many aces have hit the table and stuff to see if it's good. It's just some people take games more seriously than they should, honestly, at the end of the day. And you should know that better than anyone. Remember that time you tried killing my wife? We finished Zelda.
Yeah.
It won't be done yet, but it's done recording. It should be done by the end of summer.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, like, a year since this came out, it took us. But to be fair, we did have pauses because, Dylan's band to practice, was it?
Yeah.
Was that the joke we said? People really like that chess joke. Well, and by people, I mean Solar and No Clicks. They really like
chess joke?
Where it's like, it's just with the horses, and you throw them, and like, and I'm like, see, it doesn't make any sense. You're like, it's just chess. I'm like, and I'm like quiet for like 5 minutes. We really like that. And the No Clicks really likes your line with the broom, don't spend it all in one place. And then later on we talk about it, and I'm like, every time you said, or I was like, broom, don't spend it in one place. And they're like, what's that? I'm like, you said that. I would never say something so fucking stupid.
What is where's it from? What's the context?
Link's Awakening. You said those things.
Why would I say that?
Because the goat gives you a broom. And you're like, a broom, don't spend it all in one. Watch the highlights. They're all in there.
Did you put them back to back?
No,
so I feel like that would have been funny.
That would have been funny, but I'm not a fucking future teller. So the one highlight is in the highlight videos a month before that one, and the other one's a month after.
Okay.
So it would have been funny if I did that, but that would involve a time machine, and I don't got one of those lying around. What's that from?
You could do it for the year.
Yeah, I probably won't do a yearly one though. That's so much more work. Fucking hour long and take 3 years for my computer to fucking make it work. Piece of shit. Also, big thing happened. Patch came out.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the patch?
It was good.
Yeah, I really liked it. It wasn't like, I don't know. People seemed more surprised that, like, as soon as I seen we got that memory crystal, I knew that he was gonna come back, the Crystal Exarch. So I didn't care that he got stone, like he turned into stone. So I'm like, he's fine. But I was watching people react like, no, he's dead. I'm like, he's not dead.
Yeah, clearly he wasn't dead.
And me and Davey got into a big argument, which we made up after. But You know, at the end in the Warrior of Light fight, where the guy or where Hydrogenus comes in and he waves like Emmett Selk, and Dave's like, "It was Emmett Selk."
No, it was Emmett Selk.
No, we looked into it. He was doing it as like a. Dave actually did some research into it, and he's paying homage to him because they were actually like really good friends, and that's why Emmett Selk made his crystal and stuff too. Because remember how he said why? Because Hydrogenus's crystal was the one that you have, the bright one that saves your life.
Hyphlodeus isn't the Wanderer.
Who the fuck's the Wanderer? What are you talking about?
The Wanderer is the reincarnation that you are.
Yes, he is, isn't he?
No, Hyphlodeus was just one of the guys.
He says his name was Hyphlodeus several times, and
he says his own name is Hyphlodeus.
Yeah, but the Wanderer...
And he's on the council, but he's not you.
Oh, I thought he was the same guy.
He talks to you as an old friend, my old new friend.
Oh, I thought that was the Wanderer too.
No.
Oh.
You are the Wanderer who has no name. They didn't give you a name. Because
either way, the crystal is still Hydrogenus.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? Because he said that crystal was his because he left the council. He's the one that left the council to summon Hydaelyn. That goes without saying. He said that when he was on the bench with you, and he also said his name was Hydrogenus then. That's when he first said it. Yeah, sorry. I'm not good at them fancy Asian names.
I'd have to go.
Either way, that was my thing after the argument. I was like, you know what? It is good that we can make this thing about it. But yeah, the reason they said it's not Emmett Selk,
well, besides him being dead.
Yeah, is he's dead and he can't use his magic to make a ghost of himself in his own world. Because he's gone and he didn't already make the ghost, so why would he make a ghost again? Secondly, why wouldn't he just look like himself? Because the whole idea of the other ones being shrouded is that you don't know what they would look like, but you know what Emmett Selk looks like, kind of, because you've seen his form without the thing, which is Hades. That's what he looks like. And then you've seen his humanly formed too, right? Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. So Hydra... Dylan's reading everyone, so he's gonna just be a second.
No, go ahead.
And I'm waiting for you. Why would I just say things without a Dylan response? But Warrior of Light fight's cool. It became heavily obvious it was gonna be Warrior of Light though, as soon as See, that's why I didn't want to start talking. He's not ready. He's not ready to respond. I'm not ready to respond to my retorts and what have ye. Also, my village looks like shit because I haven't played since August. That was taught to them this time. The one time you look up and ready to respond. Are you looking up my draw thinness now?
Yeah.
See, that's because that's when he first meet him, is that he knows he's a shade.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dylan did do research beforehand, everyone, so we're doing that thing again. But I think it's meant to be somewhat vague so that people can misinterpret it. I think it's funny, too. You're not... You're still reading, so I can't fucking... There's so many things I want to talk about now about the thing, and you're busy reading about the one thing that was the least important of the things. It's wet on my shirt.
Hyphlodeus waits by the stone of Emmett Selk. He implores the warrior to keep the stones while he passes no judgment on their battle with Elidibus. He wishes for the warrior to live, that they might keep their promise to remember Amarant. They offer the warrior... Azem. That's the name of the Wanderer.
They offer the warrior a stone of memory. Oh, by Azem. But the Wanderer was on the council still, yes?
Yes. He was the 14th one.
Oh, okay.
Who is the Warrior of Light.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's Azem who waves at the thing, or do you think it's still Hydra Jaden? So I was still wrong, because it could have been... I don't think it's Hades, but I do think it was either Hydros or Azem. that wave. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I thought when I saw it, I thought it was Azim. Like I thought that was like
Yeah,
his own.
That's who I also thought it was because he always does that.
And
It
it
shows
like
up.
came out of him. So.
Yeah, so then that makes sense. It probably was Azim, but
he did Emmett Silk's wave, so I was like, maybe it is Emmett Silk.
But Dave said he looked up where it makes sense that they're paying homage to him, but it also makes sense now for it to be because I thought it was Hydrothinus or let's just call him Hydro.
Hythlodeus.
Let's call him Hytho for now, just so because I won't screw up Hytho. I thought it was Hytho because I thought Hytho and Azim were the same person. But to be fair, that they look the same. It's easy to confuse them.
Well, yeah, they all look the same.
All these Asians look the same to me.
Yeah, I don't think it was Hythlodeus at all. I don't think he's a part of that. So it has to be either Azim or Emmett Silk.
Well, the only reason I think it might be Hytho is because he gave you the stone. And he does the wave because he was Emmett's best friend. That it makes sense he would also do the wave. I don't think it was Emmett. For multiple reasons.
Emmett Silk was your best friend.
Oh, so then Azim makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, then I believe it was Azim.
Also, it kind of makes a bit more sense because Emmett Silk did the wave to you.
Yeah, which means he doesn't do it to anyone else.
Azim in your body saw that.
Me and Davey looked it up, and that's the only time he only does the wave like once, I think, to you, and it's in the Crystarium. And maybe he does it when he dies.
No, it's at the top of after he shoots the Crystal Exarch.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought... Well, no, the image Davey and me looked at was in the Crystarium.
Oh.
But he could have done it several times, honestly. And we just only could find one image of it. Not important. Anyways, Warrior of Light was super easy to see coming. Like, not, like, before the patch, but as soon as you, like... I think it was, like, the second quest in the storyline where it showed the Warrior of Light. I'm like, yep, they didn't make that asset for no reason.
Yeah.
But it was still a really cool fight. Regardless, I also like that you fight him in the like final area of the Crystal Tower.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, not World of Darkness, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But because that area is so cool, and it felt so like shitty that it's like, oh, this was like not even the last boss of Crystal. Like it was the last boss of Secret's Tower, but it wasn't the last boss of the whole thing. So it was cool to go back there and do it again. That being said, Emmett's not dead. Or not Emmett. Elidibus isn't dead. He's just
sealed in the tower.
Yeah, I was trying to explain that to either you or Dave. I can't remember.
It's probably Dave because I knew immediately.
Yeah, okay. So, because I was like, well, because he's like, what can the story really bring? And I'm like, well, because I think the next expansion is going to be about Xenos, that one Asian, and like Garlemald. And then I think somebody's going to, I think probably the Asian is going to break Elidibus free from the Crystal Tower.
But I think Elidibus is going to join our side.
No, I don't think he's going to have a choice. He's the heart of Zodiark.
Oh, so that's right.
He's going to get forced out of the tower and become Zodiark, and that's going to be the final expansion. Well, like, we looked up and Sin showed us a thing saying that he's going to keep making expansions as long as they make money. But I think this is going to be the end of the arcs, and then it's going to be like an Avengers Endgame kind of thing where it's like a big climax, and then it's going to work into a new story, which I'll stick around for the next expansion after that.
I imagine it's going to have something to do with the New World.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Like, honestly, I have no idea where they could go after you kill... If we kill Zodiark, I have no idea what we're going to do.
Well, because the New World is completely untapped.
What's the New World?
It's to the west of Eurasia.
Oh!
There's an entire giant landmass that people have been to, and that's, like, there's the New World headdress, and it's all very native-looking stuff. So I think that's what that's going to be about.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But we definitely have to go to Garlemald, destroy...
Well, and there's still lots in
Garlemald.
Even the...
Oh, yeah, there's tons.
In the continent we have. But a lot of it actually there's not as much as we think there is, because a lot of it's the burn.
Well, a lot of... That's still in Othard.
Yeah, but isn't that like a huge stretch of land that's like that, I thought?
Well, yeah, because there's Yangsha, there's Susha or something right beside Yangsha, there's Hingashi, down a bit more is Doma.
Yeah.
And then there's...
Well, no, Doma's in Yangsha.
It's slightly south. It's just an island.
But what I mean is, that stretch of land is just... Why is it think my game's Saturday? Why is KK there? Did they start making go on random days? Anyways. Yeah. But I thought the burn stretched out of out of Othard even and like went a bit further because that's why the Emperor was so worried about it. Although I guess he wasn't actually that worried about it. He knew exactly what it was capable of. It was just like a boy.
Othard is its own continent, and then Garlemald is situated in Aldenard, which is north of there.
Okay.
So that's an entire untouched continent that we haven't seen apart.
Yeah.
The most northern part is Garlemald itself.
Yeah.
And the very southern tip of that is Bosja, whatever that area is called.
That's where we're going soon, though.
Yeah. So I imagine the start is going to be there, and then it's just going to progressively go north.
I think it's going to be the region you said that's just south of Garlemald, and then the next region will be Garlemald, as there's usually two.
There's usually 4 regions.
Well, yeah, but I don't think Garlemald's just going to be one place.
I think it will be.
You think it's going to be one place?
I think they're literally just going to have the city be a zone.
Maybe.
And then there'll be like a Garlemald outskirts or whatever,
Do you think if they make a new world, it's going to have like Garleans afterwards as a playable race?
I doubt it.
Yeah, no.
They're too close to humans.
And the reason I think is they can't be jobs. You can't be like...
Right, yeah, they canonically cannot use magic, but...
They could be certain classes, like Machinist, Gunbreaker.
Alternatively, because Xenos found a way to give people the Echo.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
They can use... Xenos can use magic now. So they could do that. I don't see why they would. They're so close to humans that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, it could be a sub-race.
Also, they didn't even want to make... the Viera and the Hrothgar. I think they literally would just we would make a lot of money if we added it.
Yeah.
Because after the Aura, they literally only added the Aura because they didn't want all the races to copy Final Fantasy XI. Because it was a copy paste of all of those races, except the Rogaidans don't have tails.
Rogaidans have tails in
11, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Looks stupid.
I think what they're going to add, if they add new races, is they're not going to add a new race. I think they're going to do 3 things. Female and male of Hrothgar and Viera,
I really hope so. I just want a boy bunny.
Respectively.
So that I can finally be my samurai boy.
And then I think they're going to add a fat body type.
They might.
Because apparently they were unaware of how popular...
Julia is. Yeah.
Well, not just how popular she was, but how much people wanted that.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay... They didn't say they were going to do it, but they it seemed like they were hinting at they might do that. Yeah. So I feel like they might add a fat body type to every class, which, oh my god, I want to see super small fat potatoes. They'll just be round.
That would be wild.
Just little round potatoes running around. I seen the smallest potato the other day. He was literally came up to my character's shin. I was just like, woo! And because we were doing it with Natasha dungeon and with that potato, and me and Sin are just petting the potato, and he started running away. I watched a bunch of shit too. I watched. I wasn't done with 14 yet. Loved the Gundam fight. I wish there was a mini game you could do weekly for some stupid reward.
Yes, I just want to do more.
Yeah, because it seems shitty that it's you do it once and that's that, no more.
Yeah.
I think they will though.
Yeah, I think they'll add more.
I think they're gonna add a dungeon for the next one, but I think they still are gonna add a mini game or something because it doesn't seem like they're just gonna do it one and done. But we'll see, I guess.
At the no, they wouldn't do a main story one like they did in A Realm Reborn. But if they could, anything where you could just keep doing it for whatever reason.
Even if it's a gold saucer mini game.
Yeah.
Which honestly, that might be what they do. I should check my toy chest. Maybe it's a toy chest thing you can play.
Maybe.
Is that in? No, because it usually tells you if you unlock something in the toy chest.
Yeah.
Fuck! I got this thing. Everything's going to hell right now. I'm breaking down.
I kind of regret changing from Felicity.
I like your new character. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit your bunny persona. Everyone knows you by, but
true.
I think everyone will always think of you as a bunny just because we have the bunny picture everywhere. And you never play anymore, so everyone thinks you're a myth. The one thing I think is funny for American audiences, because American audiences hate both Xenos and the guy who also came back to life.
Asahi?
Yeah.
Well, people hate Asahi because he's a little shit.
Yeah,
but that makes him a good bad guy.
Yes, I agree. I just think American audiences just want hot people for bad guys.
Oh, sure.
And
Not that Xenos is a bad-looking guy.
No. But, I don't know. I don't know. American audiences get pissy and it makes me mad.
Yeah.
I like the Japanese audiences.
It's really not a good metric to go off of.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, look at anything with American audiences. They're always little shitties about it.
Well, and so much more people play in Japan.
Yeah. Well, and like, me and this one guy were talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I was like...
I can't remember if I watched the newest season or not.
But we were talking about how, like, he's like... I'm like, have you seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch? He's like, yeah, I liked it, but I heard they're canceling it. I'm like, well, they're canceling it after season 4, which is fine, because if you watch season 3, they could have ended it on season 3.
What happens in season 3?
Like, so you want spoilers?
Just give me, like, a basic rundown.
She's running to be the Queen of Hell.
Okay, so I haven't seen season 3.
You should watch it. It's really good. It's got a lot of really cool time traveling stories. But, like, I always hear people being like, it has a really big feminist agenda. It's like, it doesn't, though. Like, yes, there's strong female characters, but a feminist agenda means all the male characters are, like, wimpy if they're supposed to be... Like, Harvey would be, like, in a feminist agenda, quote-unquote, if you can even say that as a thing. I mean, Harvey's, like, this big wimpy boy. And...
The only argument I see to the whole female whatever agenda is how heavy-handed they are with portraying the dudes as evil.
Well, that's because if you watch, that's actually paying homage to the original Sabrina show and how the guys acted towards the women in it. And like back then it was like, whatever, it's 90s comedy, ha ha ha. And so it's kind of paying homage to it in its own way, like saying, yes, this is how they were treated originally. And so it's actually kind of interesting.
All right, I'll buy that. I just think it's excessive with how...
Well, it's because that one guy's a dick.
Right, but they made him too much like a dick. Like, nobody actually fucking acts like that. This is the boys' club. Only top boy, pee-pee, boy, pee-pee. I don't want a daughter. I only want a son, and I want to fucking huff his farts.
Well, that's because warlocks apparently are closer to Satan, according to him, and that's why. Which, if you look at, like, witch stuff or warlock stuff, that's always been a thing.
Really? I've always known, like...
That's because witches are more popular in popular media.
I guess. Trying to demonize
a lot of
women.
Yeah. Exactly. And warlocks never get demonized. You never hear about warlock burnings. People don't even think about, like, the whole fact that witches get a different term even though it's the same fucking thing is so weird to me. Because everyone's like, witches aren't warlocks. It's like, it's 100%. The whole thing of a warlock is making an agreement with some higher being.
With a demon.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be demon. A higher being.
Real life stuff, I mean.
Well, no. It's just, the whole... Warlock literally just means making a pact with a higher being. Just...
You can't make a pact with God.
That's because God wouldn't make that pact. You could, in theory. There are celestial pacts.
There's no other celestial things.
Just, yeah, angels. You can make one. Technically, the devil's an angel. Actually, they go into that more in Sabrina.
A pastor in Bible camp told me only the devil can give you powers. So...
That's why I'm a Satanist. I was like, oh, that's why I should stop praying.
No, I don't even remember what the context was. I was just like, so can God, like, give you superpowers or something? He's like, no, only the devil can give you powers, but you'll go to hell. And I was like...
So why am I praying to God?
Wild.
But yeah, I'm excited for the next expansion to see what happens. I'm excited for the next story patch to see what happens, honestly. I'm excited for the next mini patch to come out so we can do Bajra.
0.5 or 0.05.
Yeah, I guess there'll be 2 or 3 patches because they're going to do Ishgard stuff first, but I really want that. I want to really go start doing my grinding.
Yes, I just want to grind for weapons. That's
yeah.
all I want.
Because I was like, now that I've done it and figured out how to do it in fucking thing, it's supposed to be better and more easier. Because, well, the thing that's going to make it easier, because I think it's going to be exactly the same as Eureka.
Well, there's the option to do it like Eureka or the option to do it the other way.
Like, but, okay, let me finish. I think you can do both.
Oh, yeah, I think you can do both.
But, so it's going to be like Eureka, where you kill enemies and then the notorious monsters will show up. But instead of having to go and run on a notorious monster party now, it just randomly will select people to just go do that fate. So you'll always have the right amount of people unless there's not enough people there. But I'm sure for at least a bit, there will be a lot of fucking people there. So that's what I like about it. So it's like, if I'm doing it solo, I can, and then I'll just get pulled into fates when they happen.
Yeah.
Also, apparently you can do it at level 70, so you can level up your other job. Or no, You can go there with any job, and it'll boost them up to 80, but you have to be 70 to unlock it.
Right.
And also you have to deal with the quest line stuff, so I guess you probably have to be 80 to unlock it, but who am I to know?
With one class.
Yeah, and then you can level it with the rest, or level your other classes with it.
Yeah.
What the fuck else was I going to say? Dylan, what was I going to say? Yokai weapon stuff started coming up. I've been slowly working at it. I'm not gonna. I do want to get them all, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah. I have
a lot of time, so you're not gonna get the samurai sword.
Nah, I didn't really like it.
Really?
I have the Dark Knight sword, which is the only one that matters.
The Dark Knight sword is cool.
Yeah. I got it the last time though.
Oh yeah, the Dark Knight sword. I think. I'm not sure. No, I like the red mage. The red mage one's the best, by far. I also like I like the Gunbreaker sword, but it's not a gunblade.
Yeah.
So I can't like it. I'm like, this is just a sword. Do you know what a gunblade looks like, Yoshi? Needs some sort of trigger. Or like even like a twisty handle, which I'm sure, because like the whole gun part of it is actually cosmetic, but it does supposed to have something to release the Aether cartridges, which didn't have. The bow's cool too, actually. I got the Whisper bow. It's like just white, but it looks really nice. There's some that are just silly, but I still like them. I just want them all, and that way I have them, and then I get the mounts.
Yeah.
I get the big stupid cat mounts. I got the first
ghost.
No, so there's two ghost ones. There's the pet ghost one where you get for getting 14 of the pets or something. You get one ghost mount, and there's a red ghost mount. And then then that's for only getting 14 of the weapons. And then if you get all 17 weapons, you get a big cat sofa. It's real stupid.
The sofa is a mount?
Yeah. I think it's two people. You both sit on the sofa. Like, Dylan, get on the sofa.
That's pretty well.
Yeah, like my big comfy couch. That's what they called it.
And the big comfy couch.
So that's 37. Okay, good. But yeah, so I watched a shit ton of TV on Netflix. I watched High Score, which is really good. It was, as far as I could tell, correct except about everything except one thing. They said that Chun-Li, yeah, from Street Fighter, was the first female character in games that was ever like let me finish the sentence, that defended herself and fought and stuff, but that is untrue. Samus came out in 1987 for Metroid, which was way before 1990 for Street Fighter 2. And I was just like, and they even showed Metroid in the thing. I was just like, that's stupid. But other than that, it was fine. It has a lot of really cool information stuff. Like, so what do you think Final Fantasy? Because it's all about what games that impacted the game thing. Why do you think Final Fantasy was on it?
For RPGs.
Well, yes, obviously RPGs, but what do you think they did for RPG?
Classes.
No. Like they did have classes, but that's not gonna.
Real time.
No, it was the art. The bringing an RPG to life, because before then most RPGs just look kind of plain and stuff, and then they like literally hired, so the guy who does all the art for Final Fantasy, like, you know, the very stylized stuff. Guess what he drew before he did Final Fantasy art?
Porn.
No. It's a very famous anime.
Evangelion
wasn't out yet.
A comic, a kill.
I don't think that was out either.
Nowhere near.
Speed Racer.
Huh.
He was the artist for Speed Racer. I'm sure there was other artists, but he was one of the artists for Speed Racer.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's so different from his style.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because at the time, I think the only animes that were out were like Gundam, which was mentioned actually in that show.
Did you see the Sungwon Cho video where he talked to the creator?
Yeah, and he's like Final Fantasy 9. He likes for heads and buttons.
Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah, I think you would probably see me retweet it also. She looks like a robber with that.
Yeah.
Hiding her little ears. They're not little.
What are you hiding, Tiffany?
I'm gonna hide that dick in my mouth. That's right, bitch. I watched a bunch of horror movies. I think I watched almost every horror movie on fucking Netflix. That's how many I watched.
Wow.
One of the worst ones I've seen, Death House.
What's it about?
Honestly, I don't know. Eraserhead was better than it. Because this movie is so full of itself and its own agenda, and it's just so pretentious and shitty, and it's like, I think they spent it's about, the world's evil because of Facebook, so we're going to reprogram people so they don't feel good or evil, they're just neutral. And so they like take criminals and make them relive crimes on homeless people. and the jail breaks down. There's this one actor who I think they thought was like super big deal, so they put him in the thing, and he doesn't make any sense either. And this one guy thinks he's God, and there's 3 devils, and it's so bad. Like, it's legitimately such a bad movie, and the whole time, like, I think they spent so much of the budget on having nude people in it, like, because there's a tit, like, in every scene.
Wow.
And not even all good tits. And there's like this weird shower scene where it keeps zooming in on like tattoos and stuff. Like they got paid by the tattoo artist to show off his work. Like, it was so fucking weird, and I was like, who did anything? Like, I could have directed a better movie than this. Like, it was actually like, if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, even like watch like 3 seconds of it, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But I did find one really good movie, which I think I told you about, was Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
Do you care about spoilers? Because I can tell you about it if you want. If you don't plan on watching it, we can always watch it Halloween after too if you're interested. So it's about a little girl. How it starts out is a little girl at home all by herself and her little stuffed turtle, and she just is living by herself doing stupid little girl stuff. And then there's like this monster that stalks her at night, and so she has to hide and like covers her mouth, and she can't feel emotions because then it'll find her. And that's where you start getting the idea of what actually is happening. And then later on, her dad and mom come back. And also, it's important that the newspapers say that there's, like, an invasion and stuff, that there's been a breach, and stuff is getting put in quarantine. So you see this, and you get a hint that her mom and dad are soldiers, which they are. And she gets mad that they left her behind. And her brother is dead in bed the whole time, but he's, like, moving and stuff. Like, there's a part where she holds his hand, and his hand closes on him, her hand and stuff. So it's got like a lot of weird stuff that you're trying to figure out as you're watching the movie, which is a part of what makes it good, because that's a good horror movie. Not knowing everything is good. Maybe not as much as Eraserhead, but yeah. Also, don't if you guys are like Eraserhead fans, we're not saying it's a bad movie. We're just saying we didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm too stupid to understand what the fuck happened.
So if you guys want to comment, don't comment rude, mean things like you guys are idiots that don't understand film, because that's just true. We already know.
Yeah, we know.
Instead, send us a link that explains it, so we can talk about it next podcast.
Explain it yourself.
Yeah, so send us something that explains it.
Do it.
No Clicks.
He's screaming
no
at the screen.
No Clicks is the guy that made the film. He's like, God, I made that.
We don't know his real name. Maybe it is David Lynch.
Yeah, we know you're David Lynch. No Clicks. I did like... Oh, so speaking of David Lynch, I'll get back to my Stephanie thing. So the first David Lynch movie I ever seen was Mulholland Drive, which you should watch. I think it's a much better movie. You'll still be confused, but it's better. There's more things to look at. It's more interesting. It has more of a plot as it goes on. The characters, there's really good acting. But anyway, so there's this lesbian scene, and I'm like, oh, fuck yes. And I start masturbating. I was a little Jessaru. This was on CBC at midnight.
Yeah, been there.
And so I'm like, yeah, and then it goes through, like, quickly goes to this other scene about this 2 guys at a cafe, and I'm like, what the fuck is this all of a sudden? And they're, like, drinking coffee, and he's like, yeah, I had this really weird nightmare the other night, and they're talking about it, and then they leave, and this fucking hideous monster comes around the corner out of nowhere. Like, they're talking, like, it's just like a normal scene, it just happens. And I'm like, holding my dick, and scared and coming, and I'm like, why? I didn't want to come to this. Because I was like, you know when you're edging, you're just kind of waiting, but you don't want to lose the good boner you got going, so you're like kind of rubbing it.
Keep it going.
But then there was just so much stuff happening at once that like it wasn't that it came out of like, yes, the monster, I love this.
Yeah,
it was more just so much emotions came out that something I had to throw up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. Check it out. Steven, I think, said that Mulholland Drive is one of the easier movies from David Lynch, because Steven's a big... Honestly, we should just have him come on. Let's go to Calgary, grab Steven, bring him here, and we'll have a podcast, because he could probably explain it to us. Because he's not really rude about that kind of stuff either when he talks about movies. Like, when I told him about Mulholland Drive, he's like, oh man, I love Mulholland Drive. He's like, you watch any other David Lynch? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really get Mulholland Drive. He's like, oh yeah, that's David Lynch for you. But there's stuff you can pick up. There's a lot of communities on the internet for that kind of stuff. And he showed me, like, a bunch of David Lynch stuff. And, like, David Lynch is a good director if you want to watch a movie that's just, like, fucked. Like, you want to get high and watch something fucking weird? Maybe don't watch Eraserhead.
No, that was upsetting.
Yeah, no, Eraserhead's far more upsetting than the stuff... Even, like, the really weird one that's Steven's favorite, with the bunny thing, wasn't upsetting like that. Like, it has upsetting scenes, but nothing, like, so gross like that. Like, I can't think of anything that gross in Mulholland Drive or anything.
Well, the monster was just... Not only was it gross, but it was uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like, that's why I think it started out with nothing making sense, and it just... It felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then it got into the gross shit that I didn't want to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And why did the mom lick his neck?
Yeah, she just sucked at his neck. She wasn't just licking. She was going full hickey. Then the daughter comes in.
Did you fuck my daughter?
And she like the chicken scene was good though. That was a good scene.
That was weird. And when the dad just walks in.
Yeah, that's what scene I was talking about. Yeah, you're the printer boy. I make plumbing. I plumb everything. People think they just grow in their house. Good guy. Anywho, back to Stephanie.
Fake chickens.
Back to Stephanie. So, eventually they talk about. You start thinking that the mom has it because she has like a mark on it or something, and she's looking at all these brain things. And then spoilers, which I figured out by the time the daughter has the brain thing, and it's like taking over her body. And the scene happens, and she's a good actor, but none of her lines are super good until the scene, because they're like hypnotizing her to try and find out what happened. And she's like, it was Halloween. My brother was carving a pumpkin. And he started teasing me, and then the mom's like, "Oh, he wasn't really teasing you." She's like, "Dad's like, shut the fuck up." And then she's like, "Okay." So then we started fighting in the hallway, and he hit me. And he's like, "Okay, what'd you do when he hit you?" I rose my arms. He's like, "Both of them?" And she's like, "All of them." And it's such a fucking cool scene. And like, so essentially, did you ever watch that anime with the girl that's like got thousands of fucking telekinetic arms?
No.
Oh, there's like an anime. It's about a girl that gets like something in her, like a parasite.
Oh, like Elfin Lied?
I don't know what it's called, but
it's where like the girl's pretty much naked and she just has like these weird cat ear headphones.
I don't actually know. I just know that. So it reminded me of that. I seen Cliffy watch a scene where like she tore up all her classmates and stuff, and she's essentially like that. She has like these huge fucking arms, and later on the dad tries to like they're like, "Yeah, this is fine. You can get over this," because they think that she can control it, and then they figure out that she can't because there's no cure. They tried to take it out of her head and it didn't work, so the dad takes her out in the forest and shoots her like 15 times, and she comes back and he's like, "You didn't try hard enough," and just kills them all and then drags their bodies. And like that makes sense for everything in the movie because she has like huge range on these arms, and like at the end of the movie it shows her walking through the city and you can see like this giant shadow of sprawling arms. She's just like
that's fucking badass,
knocking buildings over and shit.
I'm fucking watching that when I get home.
And it's showing it goes and zooms out in the world, and you can just see the world's on fire because there's like all these people doing the same shit.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, I like it. It's just you'll lose a little bit of the effect knowing the little girl has it now.
Right.
But like I said,
that doesn't really ruin things for me.
Yeah, and also it wasn't that secret. Like I think I caught on. Well, I didn't catch on, but I was guessing as soon as they showed like that it was a brain thing. And because it wants you to think the mom has it, and I was like, that's too obvious. It's not the mom. It's clearly because they keep telling the little girl about controlling her emotions and stuff, so it's just so obvious that it's the little girl. Also, just makes the whole movie make sense. Like, why was the brother holding her hand? It's because she made the brother hold her hand to feel better about herself.
Oh, huh.
Wild. Yeah, it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. I also watched Dad of Light, which is also super good, and I also recommend it.
Is it still on Netflix?
Yeah, Bobby said it literally was on Netflix since 2017 when it came out.
Huh. Maybe it's just one of those things.
You won't show up.
I didn't search for it, so.
You have to search for it, yeah. Bobby said she like literally went and searched on Netflix the day they said it was out. It was weird because I didn't know. So it doesn't tell you it's based on a true story. You said you knew that beforehand. But it doesn't tell you it's based on a true story till episode 8. Oh. After the whole story, because I was like, because at the beginning it's like the goal is for me and my father to connect by killing Twin Tanya, the hardest boss in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, no, she's not. This came out when Stormblood was out. What are you fucking talking about? Like maybe Heaven's Ward if you took that long to record it, but then once you find out it's based on a true story, it's like, oh okay. But I really love the it has that South Park Make Love Not Warcraft kind of style where it's like half of it's in Japanese drama and the other half is like in the game, and they like talk like
yeah, that's fun.
But what's really fun about it is so the main character plays a cat girl, and so when he talks in the game he talks as a cat girl. The dad does? No, the dad plays oh my god, and the best part about it, this isn't really spoilers, but so when the dad's making his character, he gives it a name. He's like, why would you pick a name like that? He's like, I like it. And he's like, no, you're a hero in this world. You need to be a hero. Give your guy a hero name, like one of your favorite heroes in all of fiction. And he's like, oh, and it goes zooms in on his name. It's Indy Jones.
Oh man.
And he plays a bard.
Nice.
But his dad's like so funny. His dad's the best character on the show. Well, actually, there's two good characters. There's one character there's the drama part of it too. Although that's where it's a little bit unfulfilling because there's all these open storylines in the drama that doesn't really get answered. But he has this coworker that's like the hot shot, and he's fucking awesome. I love him. He wears suspenders. And he's like, he's like just that Japanese guy in Japanese dramas that you always love. He's that guy. He's always hitting on girls and stuff. Nice. And there's like a scene where they're on the roof talking, and he keeps getting soccer balls hit at his head, and the girl's sorry. Nice. Like it's very Japanese. I think you'd just like it, even if it didn't have the Final Fantasy 14 part of it. I think you would still like it.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have the semblance of both parts of the show.
I watched Crazy Rich Asians with Dave.
Isn't that a movie?
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Like, I teared up a few times. It was super cute, very well made, and goddamn, they only spent $30 million on it, and there's like crazy fucking shit, like ginormous hotels with like fireworks and shit, and like massive fucking parties, mansions and shit.
Parties are the easiest thing to put in a movie,
I guess, because you don't really have to pay people to party.
Yeah, and the food and stuff doesn't cost as much as you think it does.
Yeah,
because like $30 million goes a lot farther than you think it will.
That's I guess.
If they don't have special effects or like they
had helicopters, they had boats,
that's not special effects. You can rent a boat or a helicopter pretty cheap. Special effects are what cost money, and music. Yeah. Music is expensive sometimes.
There was a lot of good music,
but yes, it's good music, but it wasn't created for the movie. Like it was. That's where it gets expensive. Is creating it for the movie. That's the stuff you have to think about when you look at a budget.
Right. But it made like $300 million.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Either way, it doesn't fucking matter.
It has some pretty big actors too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
pretty much all of the big Asian actors.
Yeah, but I think a lot of them came into it because it doesn't have a pretty good message about being Asian or something.
No, I was expecting it to be a lot more trying to prove something, but really the only thing was at the very start, the mom and her kids come to like this very posh hotel, and the concierge or desk person was like, "I'm sorry, but this is a classy hotel. You're gonna have to fuck off," and blah blah blah. And she's like, "I have a reservation. My name is blah blah blah. I'm supposed to be here. I have a room at the presidential suite." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave." And then she's like, "I want to call my husband." And they're like, "Fine." They let her use the phone, and then the owner of the hotel comes down. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, sir, what are you doing here?" Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, "Oh my god, hey, what are you fucking doing here? I just sold my hotel to these people." And then the look on the lady's face was so smug. And then, yeah, it was amazing. But that was pretty much it. Other than that, it's just kind of showing how Asian families really are.
Oh. What was the other things? DC Fandom had their thing. They showed that the Snyder's Cut of Justice League is going to be 3 parts on HBO Max, and it's like 4 hours or something like that. A lot of stuff for DC is going to be on HBO Max, like that the Gotham, the GP Gotham thing. Yeah. That TV show is going to be on HBO Max.
Gotham PD.
Yeah, thank you. What else is coming out? They announced 2 new games. One is by the same people that made the Arkham games, which is called Suicide Squad, and it's called Suicide Squad Kills Justice League.
Right.
And like Superman's evil or something. I don't know if that's actually true. Or they're just crazy.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
And it's 4-player co-op, but you can play it single player and have people jump in if you want. And you can play as Harley Quinn, obviously.
Yeah.
King Shark, who just is a street shark.
Yeah.
Fucking love Deadshot.
Okay.
And
I heard people were mad that Deadshot was black. And then I'm like,
people are mad about anything.
It's Will Smith.
Oh, Will Smith's. No, they weren't mad that he was black in Suicide Squad's movie because they're like, whatever.
Right, in the game, though.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm like,
people are just mad about
even
shit.
If he was white before, he's black now.
The reason they're mad is because it's still stupid, I agree, but so it's based in the Arkham universe, and Deadshot was already in the Arkham universe as a white guy.
White. Oh, okay.
That's why they're mad. But I agree, it's stupid. Who cares? Like, honestly, it's like, whatever. They didn't think that they're going to delve out that far.
Right.
It's just
it's an oversight.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Like, it's a little bit, like, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. The other game, not this one I actually thought was by Arkham, but it's not even in the Arkham universe, but it's another Batman game called Gotham Knights, and it's about the Court of Owls storyline from the comics, but it's got a little twist, because Batman's dead in it. You don't play as Batman, he's dead. You can play as 4 characters. We'll see if you can guess who they are.
I assume Robin, Batgirl,
yeah,
Nightwing,
yeah,
and Oracle.
Red Hood.
I don't know who Red Hood is.
Red Hood is another Robin.
Oh.
He's the one that dies. He looks a lot like Deadpool normally. He has like a big... It's more like a
I
motorcycle helmet.
have seen it. Yeah.
They made him super more Deadpool-y in this.
That's actual Dick Grayson, though, right?
No, Dick Grayson's Nightwing. That's Jason Todd is.
Right.
Jason Todd, and then Tim something is the...
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yes, the Red Robin. Jason Todd, they made him super Deadpool-y. Like, his helmet's far more Deadpool-y than it normally is. He has a fucking teleport.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm going to play Red Hood, though. He's got a fucking teleport. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, yep, if I buy this game, I'm playing Red Hood. But it does have the Court of the Owls storyline, so it looks pretty cool. Because I love the Court of the Owls. If you ever want to read the Batman and the Court of the Owls, I have the comic books.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he looks fucking badass.
That's not the one in this, though. That's Arkham Knight, and this is something else. Oh, yeah, you typed in Arkham Knight. That's why.
Isn't that what you said?
No, it's called Gotham Knights.
Oh.
That's what he looks like. It very more Deadpool.
What the fuck? That is just Deadpool.
Like, it's even got the same kind of eyes and stuff.
Let's do a Nightwing.
But I think you can customize their outfits because it shows at the beginning Batgirl doesn't look as much. She looks like Batgirl, but it's like... well, Gotham Knights is a storyline.
Right.
Maybe put video game.
I mean, Nightwing always looks the same.
Yeah, you can't really change... Well, but...
Here's a good picture of all of them.
So, yeah, so this is what Batgirl looks like at the beginning of the game, but it shows later on she has more of like a Batman kind of cap on, so I think you can customize the characters too.
Huh.
I might play
Red Hood is so much cooler than the rest of them.
Yeah, well, he's got guns. I like Nightwing, though. Nightwing I like as his character. Just Nightwing. Also, Nightwing is, in Batman's mind, the best fighter of the group. Well, he literally is.
He's the pinnacle of
what
he meant to be.
In the Gotham Knights storyline, the thing about Dick Grayson is he isn't the best at detective work, though. Because that's what... They all have, like, parts of Batman that make him good. And the Robin in this game's the best at detective. Like, he's the only Robin that didn't have his family die or anything in, like, a tragedy.
Yeah. He adopted him, didn't he?
No. His family did end up dying later on, after he had already become Robin. But Robin used clues because he wanted to be Batman's... He wanted to be the next Robin because he's like, this is the problem. You don't have a Robin. So he, like, figured out clues and found Batman. He went to the Batcave. He's like, hey, can I be Robin? And he's like, who the fuck are you?
I mean, legally, you have to be Robin now.
It's either you're Robin or I have to kill you.
Yeah.
What the fuck? So yeah, there's a Gotham... I think it's called Gotham Knights. It might be called something else. But in the original storyline where Batman dies, it doesn't go into the Court of the Owls because Batman takes care of the Court of the Owls himself.
I don't know what the Court of the Owls is.
They're like these people that wear white masks with black eyes. Very, very creepy, very ominous, and they've been controlling Gotham since day one. That's pretty much who they are. Mm. They have this weird thing at the end of it where you find out one of the Court of the Owls is Batman's brother.
Oh.
Or something. That it was like Tom Wayne or something. I don't remember, but it was like weird.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, they look really cool. But so in the original Gotham Knight storyline, you should look up Jason Todd Batman. Because that's important to the storyline. He has a fucking cool suit. Here's a better look. This is the best look of it. But he shoots people and shit, so people are like thing. But anyway, so when Batman dies, Jason Todd's like, I'm going to be the new Batman. No one's going to stop me. I'm just going to kill everyone that's evil. And Nightwing's like, whatever, I'll stay out of it. I don't care. And then Robin's like, no, we can't let him do this. So Robin dresses up as in one of Batman's suits and's like, I'll stop him. He doesn't stop him, gets his ass kicked and kidnapped.
Right.
And Red Hood wanted Nightwing to come out, but he didn't. So he's like, hey, you come the fuck out here or I'm going to kill Robin. So then Nightwing comes out, doesn't dress up as a Batman, goes in, dodges all his bombs, punches him in the face through the steel mask and knocks him out. He's like, no one's Batman! And then he ends up being Batman for a bit. I love Nightwing as Batman, though, because he's like Batman, but he does, like, weird comedy bits. Like, he's like, they're like, him and Robin are like watching criminals, and Robin's like, what do you know about them? He's like, I don't know much, but they're wearing sunglasses at night, so we know they're very cool. That's a really interesting comic, because it's about Joker, and Joker and Batman, like, obviously they end up fighting Nightwing and Joker, and Nightwing wins, but the whole time Joker's like, you're not Batman, something's weird, you're not Batman. It's interesting. And then Batman ends up coming back in time because he didn't actually get killed by Darkseid. He just got teleported in time, and it's weird. It's a weird comic book. It's called Return of Bruce Wayne. A really weird comic is the comic where Batman died, where he gets killed by Darkseid. That's a weird comic because it's about Darkseid, and Darkseid's weird. It goes into like the fourth dimension, and Batman's teamed up with Hitler or Nazi Batman, not Batman, Superman is teamed up, and he has to kill his vampire.
Oh, I saw a few.
I think it's called Final Crisis.
Panels of that.
Yeah, it's a weird comic. It's all over the fucking place. And the Green Lanterns can't come to Earth because there's a dome, and they're confused, and they keep flying forward, and nothing happens. Wonder Woman becomes like a dominatrix and is making the girl Shazam fucking lick her clit and stuff. That doesn't actually happen, but like, something sexual bad happened to the girl Shazam because when she turns back into like the girl that she is, she starts crying. It's like, they made me do horrible things, and like it's like actually messed up. Because like the thing about the Omega code for Darkseid is when you hear it, you like start losing your mind and going crazy. And some people are immune to it, such as Batman, because how he kills Darkseid is he waits for Darkseid to come out of this thing because he has to like transfer bodies. When he's done transferring, he shoots him with this gun that kills gods and kills him. And he's like, I don't always use guns, but I made a special... because how it works is because Darkseid's like an avatar, right? So you can't kill him in the human dimension, but like it soaks into you and slowly goes to the main thing. It was like designed to kill those kind of gods. And Batman's like, yeah, I don't normally use guns, but I'm making a special...
exception. Yeah,
for you, and then shoots him, and then he's like, fuck you, and hits him with his chaos beams, and it doesn't kill him, it sends him back in time, and... But everyone thinks he's dead. It's a weird comic. Really dark. But DC always had... Well, Marvel comics are dark too. Just the TV movies don't come off as dark.
The demo for the Avengers game is out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my brother was playing it.
Can you play Spider-Man?
No.
I don't care.
Yeah, you can't play till it's out.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's good.
This is now not out at launch for some reason. And it's only on PlayStation, obviously, because it's Sony.
Yeah. That's it for today. I hope you guys... This is way too long, and I still have plans with Natasha.
Yeah. I watched Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
It's fan-fucking-tastic.
I want to watch it, I just haven't.
You really should.
Yeah,
I know everyone is like, yeah, you should watch
it.
No,
that's not my thing. It's literally a TV show, and I have a hard time getting into TV shows.
Me too, but as soon as I started watching, I'm like...
Well, and it's long.
I finished
like it's hour episodes, right?
Yeah, but there's only 10 episodes, so it's
like... Yeah, that's what. It's hard for me to be like, I have to... That's 10 hours? Yeah. It's 10 hours... Is it... Wait, 10 episodes in total? With season 2?
Each season.
Okay, so that's not as bad. Sorry, I thought you meant 10 episodes per season. I'm like,
no, yeah, per season.
So there's 20 hours of episodes.
Yeah.
That's still a lot. But
actually...
it's like 45 minutes.
22, because the second season has 12 episodes.
Oh, okay. Like, it's not that. It's just... I have to...
Once you get the ball rolling, though. You got to get into the mood. I 100% get it. It took me so long.
For TV shows, like the last few TV shows I've watched, like High Score only has 6 episodes, so super easy to watch.
Yeah.
And then the other one I watched was Dad of Light, which is only 8 episodes. And Dad of Light's only 20 minutes even, so.
Hot damn.
I literally watched Dad of Light all in one sitting, though.
Nice.
Where High Score, I definitely sparsed it. I really wanted to keep watching the RPG episode, though, because as soon as I said it, I was like, this is going to be my favorite episode, and it was. Yeah. Actually, no, the last episode's about Doom, Doom is so much bigger than I thought it was. Doom is one of the most impactful games in the gaming thing. I think that's why they left it for last. Like, you know the thing where Bethesda gives out its software so people can edit the game? Doom was the first company to ever do that. Or first game that ever did that. First game with online. And it coined the deathmatch term. Also, they just the guys who made Doom are so fucking funny. Like, they made Wolfenstein first, and they're like, man, we gotta make a better game. This is good, but we need to make something way better than this. So he just wrote this paragraph about he's gonna make the best fucking game, and then he's like, it's coming out next year. Bam! They haven't even started it.
Damn.
And then they gave it for free, the first part of Doom, for free to everyone.
Huh.
And then if you want more, or you want to be able to edit the game, you have to buy it.
Huh.
They just gave the game out for free.
Ballsy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. It's like, everyone's going to love this game. As soon as they play it, they're going to fucking love it. And honestly, Doom 1, I still think holds up. Like, obviously, it's not Doom, but yeah, it's good. It's a good show. I definitely recommend it for... It's also got some really cool stuff, like the first black guy created the cartridges.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he got nobody knows him for it. Like, there's obviously proof like that he made it and that the system existed and stuff.
And royalties, I imagine.
No, he didn't get royalties.
Really?
No, he never copyrighted it.
Huh.
And a lot of people don't even know that the console exists. It's like not an Atari. It's some like random console you've never heard of, but he still created the technology.
Wild.
Also, the guy who made Atari is fucking like who started the company Atari is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just this like old guy. It's like hey, he like because Atari used to be a really good company. They were talking about that too, like how Atari met its downfall. It's because he sold it after.
Huh. And
even it talks about the guy who made the ET game, which is considered the game that started the market crash on video games. Because it was so bad. It talks about him and like why he did it the way he did it, and like what happened. Like he made the game in a month, less than a month.
Wow.
So it's like, because they're like, hey, you gotta make it this. You have to have a full concept ready for the game and stuff, and like yeah, it's crazy. And then yeah, there's obviously a whole episode about Nintendo. There's a episode about Nintendo. The Sega episode's actually really good too. The episode with Sega is about like how they created Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff, and like their whole plan on defeating Nintendo because they were like this untouchable god.
Yeah.
Like it's super interesting. Like the whole documentary. What other? There's RPG, the console war, fighting games, because that was a big thing too. Was fighting each other in arcades.
Yeah.
And that's mostly about Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
Right.
And it also goes into like the ESRB beat form because of Mortal Kombat. Well, Mortal Kombat and this other game, what the fuck was it called? That one that they played on Game Grumps with the TVs and you're watching and the ninjas come out. It's like live action. They played it on Game Grumps. You might not have watched it though. It's called like Night Terror or something. But yeah, anyways, we should go. It's long.
Yeah.
We talked about Eraserhead enough. There's not much to talk about, honestly. We don't have a grasp and we'll just sound stupid.
Yeah.
But if you guys want us to talk about Eraserhead more, let us know. We can talk about next week or whenever we record the next podcast. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Stupid fucking Dylan. Dylan's like, I'm getting the fuck out of this room.
Yeah. Boom.